Welcome to San Joaquin Spotlight, a public affairs program featuring conversations about life in the central San Joaquin Valley. This program is brought to you in partnership between KFSR 90.7 FM and CMAC Fresno. I'm your host, Sevag Tatiosian. We're excited today because the crew of San Joaquin Spotlight is out and about this evening. We're at the Maya Cinemas, the brand new Maya Cinemas, right next to California State University, Fresno. Caesar is working the camera today. Today we're going to be talking to some of the actors and the director of the movie Aram Aram. If you recall, we talked to them about a month ago or about a month and a half ago or so, but they're actually here at Maya Cinemas doing a red carpet premiere. So we'll be back with some of the actors. We're here at Maya Cinemas with Sevak Hakoyan. He is a cast member of the movie Aram Aram. Welcome to the program, Sevak.
Thank you, Sevak.
Sevak.
Sevak, Adash.
So welcome. I mean, is this your first time in Fresno?
Yes, it is my first time in Fresno.
What do you think of our beloved town?
I love it. I love it. It's a beautiful city. It's very chill, very calm, and I just love the history. You know,
a lot of history.
Yes.
A lot of history in this town. William Soroyan and a lot of Armenians.
Soho
Montelerian.
Got a chance, you know, to go to the cemetery, to the monument. So it feels good to be here.
So I was watching the trailer, and are you the bad guy? Are you the kind of tough thug guy?
See, that's the good part of this, because nobody ever recognizes me off screen. So yeah I am that guy.
But you look like a nice guy. So how did you play that part?
I am a nice guy. It took some preparation with Chris, of course, with his help. It took some time. I had some time basically before shooting to prepare for the role. And most of the external features, like my clothing, the way I was dressed, influenced the character.
Very much so. Saggy pants,
yes,
you know.
Exactly. It was my life for like 3 months.
So when preparing for a role like that, because obviously that's not you in real life, I could tell by the way you're dressed and you carry yourself, how do you practice for something like that?
You have to, as an actor, you have to trust your intuition. So when I put on those clothes, I have tried a few hoodies until I found mine, and I felt as, you know, one with that. And then you allow it to influence, and you follow your intuition. If you feel like this character would act in this way, let that simmer, let that be part of you, and and use that. And then the rest of it is research, and then getting as much information as you can, and understanding most of all like who your character is and what is his goal throughout the film.
So for people who are shy when it comes down to it, as we're on the red carpet, so there's a lot of traffic going on. For the audience members listening on radio and for those watching, you can see there's a lot of activities going on over here. But so there are some people who are shy, or they'll look at themselves in the camera and criticize themselves. Mm-hmm. Are you that way? Because you seem like a pretty confident guy.
I will definitely not watch the film today. No, here's why. With me, it's the very first time when I watch the result. That's the only time that I do not judge myself. I will say, oh, it's a good film. But then after that, I can never watch it again because I'm very critical.
So why would people watch this film? I mean, here we are in Fresno, California.
Yeah.
The movie is Aram Aram.
Yes.
It's, a lot of emphasis on Armenian characters. Uh-huh. The actors are Armenian. The director is not. But why should non-Armenians watch this film?
It has a universal message, and we have been to festivals to Armenia. We've been to festivals to LA Film Festival where we opened, and we just came back from Montreal, and we had crowds that were not Armenian, and everybody had the same response at the end of the movie. They came out with tears in their eyes, and they spoke to us also like a woman. This one particular time, a woman from Spain came and talked to us at the end and told us how she enjoyed it, and she enjoyed watching it with her kids, and she thought that all the kids should watch it.
What's the message in the film? Any message? Many. I bet you there's a ton of messages.
There's a ton of messages.
But what's the takeaway from this film?
Making right decisions in your life. And I try to portray my character as honest as possible, but then, there's never a villain. There's a person that has made bad decisions in his life. So there's the message.
So, Fresno, will you come back here at all?
Most definitely. I wish I can stay longer, but I will definitely come back again because I want to explore more the history of the city and my Armenians. So definitely.
So what's next for you? Aram Aram is done. Now you're promoting. So what's next?
I just became. Now I have a manager. So and she sent me out to a few auditions. We'll go from there, but this film was a great push for me to become more known in the community. I've done more comedy programs. I do mostly comedy now.
Wait. So
Yes.
you're a bad guy in Aram Aram, and then
Yes.
you flip to comedy and other things. That's a good actor right there.
Thank you. Yeah, I was telling today to the kids in Roosevelt School, it all comes down, whether you do comedy or drama, it all comes down to being grounded and as real as possible.
So how can our audience members find out more about you? How can they Facebook and all that stuff?
Sevak Hakoyan, I have a Facebook account, I have YouTube account. If you want, you can also follow facebook.com/Aram Aram Film, and just you can find me there.
Excellent. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
coming
Seva.
here with this film. Good luck to you in the
Thank
future.
you very much.
We're back at Maya Cinemas. We have a very famous Armenian actor here right next to me. His name is Levon, and we've seen him in many Armenian programs, but it's exciting to see him on film in an American program. And he's here with the interpreter, Lorita. Welcome.
Thank you.
Pari Egatsik. So, I'm just going to say for the audience members right now, I may want to ask him questions in Armenian. If I do, I apologize. But I'm excited to have him here. We're excited to have him here because, watching the Armenian channels, it seems like Levon is everywhere. Is that right?
Մենք շատ ուրախ ենք, որ դուք այստեղ եք եւ մենք հայկական տելևիզորով տեսնում ենք ձեզ ամեն տեղ եւ դուք ինչպես եք զգում դրա մասին։
Ես նախ 15 տարի ինչ Միացյալ Նահանգներում եմ եւ այստեղ զբաղվում եմ իմ գործով, մասնակցում եմ տելեսերիալների, խաղում եմ ներկայացումներ, մի խոսքով ակտիվ ստեղծագործական կյանք եմ ապրում։
I've been living in the United States for 15 years and I've been in this business for a long time and I've been active in many Armenian communities.
So, tell us the difference about being in films in America and being in films everywhere else, because you've played in Armenia, but you've played in Europe as well.
Մեզ ասեք ինչ է տարբերությունը Ամերիկայում ֆիլմ խաղալու տարբերությունը եւ Եվրոպայում ֆիլմ խաղալու տարբերությունը։
Գիտեք, տարբերությունը իհարկե կա, ստեղծագործական աշխատանքը համարյա նույնն է, բայց տարբերությունը տեխնիկական է, հիմնականում տեխնիկական մեծ տարբերություն կա։ Այն ինչ որ ասենք թե Եվրոպայում կամ ասենք մեզ մոտ Հայաստանում արվում է մի 2-3 օրում, այստեղ արվում է 1 օրում, կես օրում։ Այսինքն այստեղ բոլորը իրենց տեղում են, ամեն մեկը գիտի իր աշխատանքը, իր աշխատանքի պրոֆեսիան, սա շատ կարևոր է։
The difference is technical, actually differences I've noticed. And for example, in Europe, it may take a few days to do the same thing. And here, it takes 1 day or half a day.
So you've been in the United States for 15 years. Do you see yourself playing in more American films? Because this role, it was such, you played the part very well. You're good on screen. You're smooth, I want to say. So do you see yourself continuing to play American films, or do you want to go back to the Armenian films and the other international films?
Դուք շատ հիանալի եք այս ֆիլմի մեջ։ So իմ հետաքրքրությունը նա է, որ ուզում եմ իմանամ, որ ուզում եք ավելի շատ ամերիկական կինոների մեջ խաղալ, թե հայկական կինոների մեջ։
Գիտեք, դա նույնն է ինչ երեխային ասես, բալիջան, կոնֆետ ուզում ես։ Դե իհարկե ուզում եմ ամերիկյան ֆիլմերում մասնակցել, այստեղ գիտեք լեզվական հարցը, դուք հարցը տալիս եք, ես հասկանում եմ, ես կարող եմ պատասխանեմ, բայց իմ անգլերենը այն մակարդակի չի, որ ես ինչ-որ ստեղ հարցազրույց հասկացնեմ։ Ես այդ լեզվով չեմ մտածում, դժբախտաբար, իսկ ամերիկյան կինոյում պետք է կարողանաս գոնե մի փոքր այդ լեզվով մտածել, բայց քայլերը կան, պետք է նկարահանվեմ, բայց երբ որ ֆիլմում չեմ ասի, քանի որ դեռ հայտնի չեմ։
It's like asking a child if you want a candy. Of course, I want to be in American movies. However, because of my
My English is not good.
I want to say it in a better way. Okay, my English is not as well for me to be able to play in American films. I would like to play in Armenian films. However, there are some chances, opportunities. Right now, I'm not going to mention them, but there is a hope.
Why should the audience members who are non-Armenian, my show, our primary listeners are non-Armenian. They're people in the community that care about what's going on in our community. Why should they come out and see this film?
Ասում եմ շատ նայողներ, դիտողներ հայ չեն եւ ինչի համար եք կարծում, որ այլ ազգի մարդիկ պետք է գան եւ support անեն եւ նայեն այս ֆիլմը։
Գիտեք, յուրաքանչյուր ֆիլմ, որտեղ որ պարունակում է մարդկային հարաբերություններ, որը ազգության հետ ոչ մի կապ չունի։ Ինչպես ասենք երաժշտությունը, երբ որ լսում ես Վերդի, այդտեղ թարգմանել պետք չի, չէ՞։ Լսում ես Մոցարտը լսում է եւ ամերիկացին, եւ ֆրանսիացին, եւ իտալացին, եւ հայ, եւ վրացին։ Այնպես էլ մեր ֆիլմը, որը ունի ճիշտ մարդկային հարաբերություններ, պապու եւ թորնիկի հարաբերությունները։ Նման հարաբերություններ կարող են ունենալ եւ ամերիկացին, եւ ֆրանսիացին, այնպես որ դրա համար է որ ֆիլմը հետաքրքրություն է պատճառում հանդիսատեսին անկախ ազգությունից։
Because this is a universal story, everybody lives through this. This has to do with feelings and family and relationship, which it doesn't matter if you're French or English or any other nation from any other nation. You will appreciate this because this is about human relationship with the grandfather and grandchild, and it's a beautiful story.
Baron Levon, good luck to you, my friend. You did a great job on this film.
Like you too.
Thank you, Lorita.
Thank you. Շատ շնորհակալություն, դուք շատ լավ աշխատանք եք արել այս ֆիլմի վրա։
Շնորհակալություն։
We're here with Larry with Maya Cinemas. Beautiful facility you've got here.
Thank you so much.
So how did this thing come about with Aram Aram?
Well, there was a memorial in April for the Armenian Holocaust, and Debbie Ardishian Stone from the university, from Fresno State. You ever meet Debbie?
I did.
Debbie makes the earth go round.
Everybody
I think
knows
she moves
her.
so quick that I think the earth keeps. If she stopped, the earth would stop. But she invited us to the memorial, and beforehand there was a little party. We met some people, and I thought, oh, this is nice. And then we went over to the memorial. When we walked over to the memorial, there was thousands of people. And then they showed that film. And literally, we didn't know anything about it. And literally, both Frank and I, the president, we were almost in tears. We were so moved we couldn't talk. And after it was over, we left and came back, and we told Debbie, anything we can do for the community, we're going to try to do.
And thank you for this. I mean, this means a lot for the community in Fresno to world premiere a film like Aram Aram. Tell us about Maya Cinemas, brand new facility, huh?
Oh yeah, this is brand new, newest one in Fresno, and it's the only one in the county with Atmos, Dolby Atmos sound, which people come out of there, they drop their hearing aids, they walk out and say, I can hear. And I'm not kidding you. We give people the headsets to wear, for hearing impaired. And a lot of them come out and give them back to us because Atmos is a sound that floats and it carries all over, and it's not loud. It's not louder. It's just different. The way Dolby invented this, it's amazing. So if you see that, you'll never want to see a movie again without it. And then the other theaters, they're all bi-amp, what they call bi-amp. We have more power in here. I could run a city with how much I have in the Atmos, 200,000 watts of power, and in our giant large screen one, the MPX theater, there's another 200,000 watts of power.
So how can people find out more about this place here, this beautiful Maya Cinemas?
Well, they can come to the movies, certainly. We're right on Shaw, across from the tower here, from the center, and also on campus, and right next to the 168, is that right? The 168 and Shaw Avenue. And they can look us up on the web, mayacinemas.com. They can go to us on Facebook. On Facebook, we're usually posting every day big stuff, give away a lot of prizes. Also, we send out a newsletter every week, and you can sign up for the newsletter, and you win a lot of prizes on those. So it's all free, and we don't bug anybody or use the emails. It's just we're part of the community.
So thank you so much for giving us information about Maya Cinemas. Good luck to you, and we hope to have more films like this premiering in our town, Fresno.
You know, when the director of this film contacted me, and you know, you get contacted all the time when you have a theater by people who have made movies. So usually they're okay, but they're not ready to be in the theater, you know what I mean, so to speak. Sometimes you'll play them for a day or two, but we got to see it and we cried. And we said, we're going to play this movie for a week. We didn't care if it filled it or didn't, but we're going to play it for a week, so we gave it a whole screen all to itself. I didn't play Warner Brothers or Sony or anybody else. I'm playing this movie on that screen. And it's just really nice to do. And the director is such a wonderful people. The cast is nice. And we're just honored.
And you're a nice guy too, you know.
Yeah, we're just honored to have it and to do it. You know, by the way, we did, Warner Brothers liked the theater so much. Did you know the movie The Gallows?
The Gallows.
We did the world premiere here for The Gallows. And the two filmmakers are from Fresno. And they were here last night, and they met the producers and directors of Aram Aram. So it was pretty cool. We all went out and had something to eat, and it was really nice. So
thank you so much
it's a
for
busy
doing
city.
this, and
Thank you for
looking
being there,
forward to
young
being
man.
here in the future.
Thank you, young man.
Welcome back, and we're here with another Sevog. This is John Sevog. John Sevog, welcome.
Thank you. Well, nice to be here.
So how did it feel? I mean, you're a little younger than the rest of the group, and you're dealing with Levon, who's been in film all of his life. How are you feeling right now?
I feel pretty excited that so many people came. It was a great turnout. We have a lot of fans, and I mean, I feel like the way they get involved with us being here is what keeps us all going, is what gets us to think that, okay, we did something good, and we need to do even better to show the fans that we can give them something that they really want.
So how do you prepare for this film? I mean, you know, if it's okay to say, you're 14 years old, other 14-year-olds are playing video games and doing all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Here you are, you're practicing for this part, and it was a tough role.
Yeah.
How do you practice?
What I did was, when you're getting ready to a role, I feel like learning the lines is one of the most important things, but also living the character is another one, and living the character is what gets you into the film. So what you do is you kind of feel like you're not playing in a movie, you're actually living your life as Aram, living with his grandfather, and going through these problems of trying to find a father figure, and you live through that while you're being shot, and you don't think that somebody's shooting you while you're doing all this. And when you don't think about it, it just becomes a reality, and it's so natural, and you just don't have to worry about, did I do this right, did I do this wrong?
How important is support from people at home, your parents, your family, and people around you?
Oh, definitely. I mean, if my parents didn't support me as much as they do right now, I probably wouldn't be where I am right now. And I mean, family support is one of the most important things, if not the most important thing, because if you don't have that something pushing you from behind, then I feel like you're not going to be able to do it by yourself.
So, as far as when you were in the film and you messed up, how did you take care of that? Because, you know, do you keep going or do you stop and say enough?
Usually it's Chris who catches the mess ups, but when I did catch it, I felt like I could do it better, so I would tell him, okay, let's restart that one. I have a different idea. I'd pitch it to him. He'd tell me if he had agreed or not. And that's what I like about Chris, is that he's so open to getting advice from us, getting, like, we tell him how we think it should be done, really, and he's such a great director because of that, and that's what got us to get such a good film.
You know what? You're a nice guy too, like the other guy. The other guy played a thug, but he was a very nice guy. You're a nice guy too. How do you become tough for a scene like the ones you've been doing?
Like I said, you have to really live it, and in that moment when you're about to shoot that scene, you just think that you're really going through this, and you really have such a hard time with your grandfather and with this other gangster, and you just have to feel like you're actually living it, and that frustration kind of feeds to you being able to play that angry, strong, thuggish character.
You know, how do you stay level-headed? You're 14 years old. there's all these people that are taking pictures of you. I mean, some other 14-year-olds and adults for that matter would be flashy, would be take a picture of this, look at me, look at me. You're not. You're very like down to earth and humble. Why?
When I originally started shooting Aram Aram, it was one day that changed the way I thought about it completely. One day we were shooting and I did something good and Chris said, "Oh, good job, man." And I said, "Yeah, what did you expect?" Like I gave him this cocky answer, and from there he said, "You know, if you just say thank you, people will like you even more." And that's what kind of got me to change my mindset that I'm doing this because I like doing this, and the people trying to take pictures with you will come later, but right now you need to take care of this. And I just let that continue to play in my mind, and so that I won't get big-headed. I won't treat people how I wouldn't like to be treated.
How do you memorize some of your roles? Because, you know, there are times where you have to just blurt out line after line after line after line, and it comes from memory. What do you use to remember those things?
Honestly, for most scenes, right before we shoot the scene, I would look through the script, and I would memorize it right before, so it would be way harder to forget it. But when I'm trying to learn it, I definitely try running it 1,000 times, and then if I can't get it, I sometimes would want to do it with the other actors so I could see how it actually would play out, and that kind of plays in my head again and again, and then finally I'm able to do it without having to look at the script.
So what's next for someone like you? I mean, you do Aram Aram, and you know what? Someone told me, actually Caesar, who was running the camera and audio, told me it got an 8.8 out of 10 on one of the websites. And
yeah.
as much as I follow the movie, I didn't realize. Do you realize 8.8? How good that is out of 10?
It's crazy.
That's almost an A minus.
The other day, my friend was looking on his computer. He was searching up my name in Aram Aram, and he showed me the 8.8, and I said, "Wow, that's crazy! I can't believe that I created and with such great people, such an amazing film that people like so much that they give it such a good grade." And I was just blown away, and I can't believe that I was a part of this. But as far as what comes after this, I've been in 2 other films, Addicted to Fresno and Upside Down Underwater. Those are going to come out to theaters. Addicted to Fresno comes out October 2nd, tomorrow. The other one is still in post-production, but I'm just going to keep doing auditions and see what holds and see what comes next.
Stay level-headed. Make sure you respect the elders in this business, and you have a great future ahead of you. I could tell by the way you talk. I could tell how mature you are for a 14-year-old. Stay this way. Don't let Hollywood change you, and I think you're going to have a very wonderful future.
Thank you very much.
So we'll look forward to watching this film and you in it, and we'll email you with what we think. By the way, how can people get in touch with you or email you or Facebook or all that stuff?
You guys can definitely like my page on Facebook, John Ruhinian. As far as email, it's sevogruhinian@gmail.com, and I'd hope to get some feedback from my fans.
Thank you very much. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. We're here with Christopher Chambers. Now, if his voice sounds familiar to you, he was on the program a month or so ago, but he was on telephone then. But now we have him here at Maya Cinemas. Christopher, welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Nice to officially meet you. The other time we met on the telephone. We text messaged each other a couple of times, but I'm glad that we officially got to meet.
This is fantastic. I'm so excited that we're here on this incredible night.
You know, one thing I want to ask you is this. I was interviewing John Sevog, the young actor of the movie. He said something, and I wanted to ask you about that. He said one time in the scene, you told him good job, and he came back to you and said something like, what did you expect? And you approached him and said, thank you goes a long way, or something like that. I'm not quoting you correctly, but what happened there?
I think what we saw in this film is that he went from being a young kid to a young gentleman on this film. And part of it was little lessons I tried to impart to him, and also what Sevak Hakoyan and Levon Sharafian showed by example. They were very, very professional. And what happened was, whenever I'd give him a compliment, sometimes he'd have kind of like a little bit of a smart aleck kid response. Like, yeah, I know I'm cool, I know I'm good. Something just like every 12-year-old would do. But he's surrounded by a bunch of adults, and we're all making a film. And everybody loves a kid who's humble. So I said to him, you know what, just try saying thank you and see how people react.
And the reason why that came up is he came over here and I interviewed him and I said, you're very mature for a 14-year-old. I want to tell you that, that's impressive. Stay that way. And he told me that story. So what you said to him touched him.
Yes, well, I mean, I think this has been a life-changing experience for a lot of us. And for him, I think he really came of age. To be 12 years old and to carry a full film shoot, that's a life-changing
That's
experience.
big.
Yeah. I mean, I've never done it. I don't know how to act.
So what's going on here at Maya Cinemas? It's a red carpet event, but why is it important that you're here?
Yes. So this is the opening night red carpet world premiere. This is the first time the film has ever been shown for the public in a movie theater. So it's very exciting. It's going to be running here the whole week until October 8th. It's going to be playing 4 or 5 times a day. And for us, we wanted to kickstart our tour somewhere meaningful. And I could not have made this film without the support of the Armenian community in Los Angeles. And you know what? Armenian history in California, the roots are here in Fresno. This is a very old Armenian community. And I thought, how cool would it be to start it off here?
How has the trip been so far here in Fresno? I mean, I see your crew here and you're like rock stars. I mean, it looks like, there is like the mainstream actors here, and you are mainstream actors, but how does it feel?
I mean, it is extremely emotional. This is a small independent film. We've been working on this for 2 years. It's a labor of love. I can't tell you the sacrifice that went in for every one of our actors and all of our collaborators. So to finally be at this juncture where we've been to film festivals around the world, and now we're showing it to a packed movie house of people who hopefully will love the film, it's overwhelming. It's beautiful.
So why should people come out? I mean, you talked about this a little bit on the telephone interview, but now that you're here and you see the reaction, what is it about this film that you think draws people?
Well, I think people respond to this film for the same reason I wanted to make it, which is I love movies that take me on an emotional journey, give me a great climax, and they're set in a context or a neighborhood or a community I haven't seen before. So you feel like you're seeing something new and different. So for a lot of Armenians, they've seen this community. For a lot of non-Armenians, they're learning about this community, just through the little details. And I think they love the ride that it takes you on.
So how much would it mean to you for this film to pack the theater? I mean, put the money aside. Yeah. Put the money aside. Put all the fame aside. How much would it mean to you to pack that theater?
I'll tell you this. The most meaningful moment of this entire journey for the past 2 years was the very first time I went into a theater that was filled with people to see our film, and the lights went down. And I just got the chills and my eyes filled with tears because I realized this is what we're here for. This is what we love, that communal experience of being in a movie theater and knowing something special is about to happen and we're all going to experience it together. For me, there's nothing better than that.
So tell us a little bit about the actors that are here today. I mean, what is the feedback from them?
They have been so surprised, I think, at how far this film has gone. I mean, this was a very small independent film, and I know they were all excited to make it. And for Levon Sharafian, this was his first time working with an American director on a very small independent film. I don't think he had any idea, none of us had any idea it would go sell at the LA Film Festival, go to the Golden Apricot, go to Montreal Film Festival, tour the world, and then be opening in theaters in multiple cities. I think everybody is a little bit shocked, but extremely excited.
So how else can the audience see this film once it's not in Maya Cinemas? What happens next? So do you release a DVD anytime soon?
Yes, so our next place on the tour is October 16th, we go to LA, we open at Glendale at the Americana and Encino at the Laemmle. But then after that, we're going to have it available online for download, for streaming, and also for DVDs. And the way to find out about that is to go to our Facebook, which is facebook.com Aram Aram Film. That's facebook.com Aram Aram Film.
I didn't ask you this question when we were talking on the telephone, but Aram Aram, why the name Aram Aram? Double Arams?
Yes. Yeah, double Aram. Double power, double excitement. Exactly. It's not a sequel. So where that comes from for me is, to me, Aram Aram sounds like the beginning of a poem or something. And it sounds to me like the voice of someone calling to a child, a mother calling to a child, a grandfather calling to a child, saying, don't go down the wrong path. So for me, that's what that title means.
Christopher, thank you again. It was nice to officially meet you instead of just phone and text messages and emails.
Right.
And this went smoothly. I'm laughing because when we tried to get you on the telephone interview, it seemed like, the schedules were bouncing around, and then we had some technical difficulties. And I thought, you know what? Christopher's probably thinking, what's going on? But you know what? I think it worked out, and, I'm glad you're here.
You know what? For a small independent film, to get someone saying, hey, we want to talk about your film a little bit and get my actors in front of your microphone, that's what it's all about. We really appreciate it for you.
Anytime you come back, San Joaquin Spotlight has listeners that are across the board. They want to know what's going on in Fresno and the Valley, radio and TV. So anytime you have anything, we'd love to have you in. Actually, I'd love to have you back in a couple of months talking about how the experience was.
Definitely. Once we finish the tour, we'll be going to the East Coast starting in November. We'll be out there all the way into December, Washington, D.C., New York City. When I come back, I think I'll have a couple stories for you.
Christopher Chambers, how can people get in touch with you?
Sure. Check us out on Facebook. It's facebook.com, Aram Aram Film. If you want to buy tickets right now, here or in Los Angeles, we'll be on sale on Fandango.com.
Fandango.com. Actually, that's where I found them too.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I had to buy my tickets. No,
Take care, Christopher. Thank you.
so much.
That's all for this edition of San Joaquin Spotlight. To the volunteer crew that made this production and every production possible, thank you. We couldn't do this without you. Thank you to our audience members watching this broadcast on Comcast 93 and AT&T 99, the CMAC channel. Thank you to our audience members listening to us on 90.7 FM KFSR Fresno. Hope you enjoyed the show this week. We heard about the film Aram Aram. You saw some of the actors of the movie and also the director and writer of the movie. For more information about this movie, check out their Facebook page or go to Fandango and find tickets to their next show. I'm your host, Sevak Tatiosian. Tune in next week to a new edition.